Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I have wanted to film this video for such a long time now and I never really found the guts to do it, and I don't know why, because it's actually one of my favorite topics and I don't really share it a lot, but I love to vintage shop and I'm going to tell you exactly why you should be too and why it's just the best thing in the world. For starters, if you're new to my channel today, I am Anna and I post fashion and styling videos every single week on my channel. So if you do not want to miss any of my upcoming uploads, make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. And if you want to see me style all of the pieces that you see in this video, then definitely also make sure to follow me on Instagram, because that is where I post my outfits almost every single day. So let's head into it. Now firstly, I want to talk about like shopping and vintage shopping in general. And if you've been following me for a while, you might have noticed that I've gotten into vintage shopping a lot, but specifically niche down to the designer market. And there are several reasons as to why I love it and why I think you should too. But first of all, fashion for me is more than just shopping. It is more than just, you know, filling a space in my wardrobe. It's more than just buying the blouse that I need to go to work. For me, fashion is a form of art, a form of self-expression, and if you're someone who just has a lot of joy in fashion, it is really hard to make sustainable choices. It is hard to just stay with what it is that you need, because it is a hobby of mine and it is not something that I'm just doing to fill a blank. So that being said, I always, whenever I shop, whether it's new things or vintage things, I always make sure that these are pieces that I love and that I'll know I'll wear and wear years and years to come. So essentially I'm having a lot of good staples in my wardrobe and I could probably live with them until I'm 40. But if fashion to you is an art or a hobby like it is to me, then it just becomes much more than that, and you also want to show new things or you want to try out new things. And I think especially like in your teenage years, in your 20s, you should just try out what is your best style, what suits you, what you like, and for that you just have to try different things. Now, to explain to you what I mean, I have to quote the one and only, and it is, "Fashion is the most powerful art there is. It is movement, design and architecture all in one. It shows the world not only who you are but also who you want to be." So with that being said, I think especially these years where you're a teenager or in your early 20s or mid-20s, or basically it doesn't even matter what age you are, but especially this time period where you go through a lot of transitions and make major life choices, I feel like it is so important to just try out yourself and initially also try out different styles and fashion and just see who you want to be. Now, I have experimented a lot with my styles. I've shown you so many clothes on this channel, it's actually insane. But I would say for me, I'm pretty much sophisticated with my fashion sense and with the styles that I like and that I know suit me, my color type, my body shape and everything. So I know if I buy certain pieces, I will love them forever. I know what to look out for, I know what I love, and I know I will love that years and years to come. So I have made the decision to buy a bit more premium items, to buy more longer lasting items. And one way that I love to do that is with vintage shopping. And first of all, it's much cheaper than going for full retail prices. Second of all, it is so much more environmentally friendly and you can make much more sustainable choices that way. And third, for me, is you always get something that is a bit unique. You also have to hunt the things. If there's something on your wish list that you want to shop pre-loved, you're gonna have to search for it. It's not just gonna pop up. You can't just Google it and it will be there. I mean, if you're lucky, maybe you get your chances, but usually you have to wait a bit. You have to sometimes negotiate with the people that sell these things. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it turns up but it's not your size. So I thought I'd just rummage all together everything that I've ever shopped vintage designer items. I have shopped many more things vintage and secondhand, but I'm specifically focusing on all the designer things because otherwise this video would be like 2 hours long. So I'm just going to start by showing you the first designer piece that I ever bought vintage, and it will be no surprise to you. You will have seen this a million times, but it is my Coach Tabby bag. Yes, it's the white Coach Tabby bag in the 26, like the classic size. So for me, Coach isn't typically one of the highest rating designers, but it's definitely in the premium segment, and I specifically love this bag so much. And for me, the reason why I got it secondhand is because I had a different use case with it. I wanted a bag that I could take out at night, that I could take to bars, to clubs, and I wouldn't be too worried about it, but also I just didn't want to put any like high street bags on anymore, because I just feel the difference in quality, and I just don't like to dress down when I go out at night and, you know, leave all my precious things at home, which just kind of doesn't make sense. So I wanted a bag that would still dress up my outfits, but that I wouldn't be as worried about as my D&G, for example. So the Coach Tabby definitely fit that space, and even more, it's proven to be the best bag for like everyday running errands, or basically whatever you do. It's probably one of my most used bags because it's casual but chic at the same time. Now this bag full price retails at, I think, 450 euros or something like that. So that is pretty much expensive for a Coach bag, and yes, Coach is expensive, but that's just a lot of money, but you do get a very, very good quality. By the time that I got it, it was in perfect condition. Now it has like loads of scratches on this like little C, but you get both of the straps. You also get the like adjustable crossbody strap. And now this is going to look horrible because there's all my things in here, but as you can see, you have like these 3 compartments, and it's very like surprisingly spacious bag. Like I do get a lot of things in here. Now I bought this bag on Vinted, and Vinted is probably the place where I shop most of my designer items. I find Vinted to be a very good place for that. Because you can really get those bargains. There are also places like Depop and Vestiaire, and I have to say with Vestiaire I have never really shopped anything there because I just find it a bit spooky. Like some of the items, or most of the items, come like from China or Japan, or from the US, and I don't know, I guess I don't really trust the process, although you can get the authenticity checks and everything, but also I feel like they know how to rate their things, whereas on Vinted and Depop you can sometimes find designer pieces and people just have no clue how much they're actually worth and sell them for a lot less. So I got this bag, I think, for 200 euros, which is half the price. It was in pristine condition when I got it, and it's perfect for the use case because I wanted something that I don't have to be as precious about, which obviously I don't have to be with something that someone else already used. So yeah, this was the perfect like first example for me. Now I have to say, in terms of authenticity checks, those things don't really apply to Coach. Coach isn't really a brand that gets a lot of fakes. You also have to be a bit certain about the market and the pieces you're shopping. There are like other brands such as, for example, Louis Vuitton or Burberry, where you have to really be careful when it comes to fakes or outlet products, which I'll get to in a minute. But for Coach, none of that applied, so the shopping experience for this one was actually really easy, and if you know what you love and you can negotiate a bit, then you can get very good deals, and yeah, I love it. I'm going to stay with handbags for another minute because I actually only got this other pre-loved vintage designer bag that I wanted to talk about, and it's the Chloe Drew bag, and as you can see it's in this like 2 color tone, and it has this like long chain crossbody strap. Now this bag again I bought on Vinted, and with this one it was a bit tricky. Again, I think Chloe is one of those brands that doesn't really get copied a lot, and if you can definitely tell, like no one would do the Chloe emblem in like a copy. You get dupes of Chloe bags, but you don't really get the fakes, so again it was more of a secure decision. However, the colorway is not something that you see a lot, so I really researched this and made sure that it was an original Chloe design. So I asked the person to send me all the like checks that you need when you buy something like this. So she sent me her invoice from Fashionette, and Fashionette is a trusted like premium luxury retailer. So it is a site where you can buy designer items and you can pay them in monthly fees. You can also buy them off directly, depending on, you know, your finance situation. But she sent me this envelope with like the invoice in, and it has like her full address, her full like everything. So I knew everything about her. I knew everything about the bag that she bought, and I knew exactly how much she paid for it. I know that it was a trusted reseller that the bag came from, so that was a huge plus. And then what else she sent me were like all of the cards and attachments that come from Fashionette, and then also of course the Chloe attachments. So you get like this little label, then you also get the authenticity card, which has the date of when it was bought and also like the serial number, so you can register it online and you get additional Chloe warranty and all of that things. But yeah, an authenticity card is definitely a must when you do vintage designer shopping, especially when it comes to handbags and shoes. I think like any leather goods I would probably check for it. And yeah, and then you also get this little thing from Chloe, which actually I have no clue what it is. It kind of just tells you a bit of like the leather that it's been made of. For me, this bag is a perfect example of being able to find something that is a bit more unique, because this colorway hasn't been done a lot, and I feel like the pink cement Chloe Drew bag has just been overdone. Like it has been everywhere on every single Pinterest board in like 2014. And it's just not something that spoke to me anymore, although I really love the bag. And when I saw this, I was just so happy to be able to get something unique in a design that has already proven itself over such a long period of time. So that's definitely a plus again. Okay, so let's talk a bit about clothing, because these do come with certain things that you have to watch out in. The first thing that I have right here is a jumper, which is from Tory Burch. I haven't actually worn this a lot, I have to be honest, but it is a very pretty like cream colored like soft little knit, and it has this gorgeous shirt detail around the collar. It's really nice, the quality is amazing, and the fit is also very pretty. However, I do have to say the reason why I haven't worn this a lot is because I find the color slightly difficult. It's slightly a yellowy cream, which isn't perfect, but when I look at my closet I can see I have a lot of these items, so for me it is okay to style these items. It's just not been something that I've reached for a lot, but I'm planning to change that. I'm very much determined to wear this one more. But Tory Burch is a very nice way to get a more premium design, premium quality without having to pay a ridiculous price tag, and I think I paid around 25 or 30 euros for this jumper, which yes is a lot for a second-hand jumper, but on the other hand it's not even more expensive than anything I could have bought at H&M, and let me assure you, if I would have bought something at H&M it wouldn't look as good as this one still does, and this one has already been a few years old and it still looks this good. So yeah, I'm actually really happy with this. And when it comes to those things, obviously you have to make sure you wash the items when you get them. Depending whether it's wool or cashmere, you might have to get them to the dry cleaners. Luckily with this one I don't have to do that. I could just wash it regularly, but of course it kind of matters how old the piece is, how much it has been worn. For example, with occasion wear you can be a lot safer because people tend to wear that less often. Obviously jumpers are really risky because you can always get like little holes or anything in there. So for me, I kind of just trust the people a lot, and I know that's probably not the best advice, but I always ask them whether there are like any damages to it, any holes, any like discolorings, and I'll ask them always to send extra pictures. Like with anything that I buy, I will always ask for extra pictures just to make sure that they actually have the item and they didn't like copy photos from someone else and uploaded that. Another thing that actually has been proven to be worn a lot is this little jumper. This one again I got from Vinted, and it is a vintage Prada jumper. It's 100% cashmere, so this did have to go to the dry cleaners when I first got it, because you can't just like regularly wash cashmere. I feel like sometimes you can get away with it, but I didn't want to like ruin my vintage Prada jumper, and I have been wearing this so much. I'm going to insert a picture with me wearing this with my Burberry skirt. I just love this combination. Whenever I wear that I feel so classy and chic, and again this is one of the designs that is just never gonna go out of style. And although it's also more like a yellowy cream, I actually find this one so easy to style, and the quality of this is just insane. It's the thinnest, like lightest knit ever, but it does keep you so warm, and it's just so much more special. And again, when I wear that I just feel so nicely put together, and it just feels a lot different than putting anything on that you've ever bought from H&M or Zara or one of these places. This one has this like cute little detail where you had actually this like bow tied, and I kind of managed to undo the bow, and now I can't get it back to the cute way that it looked. So if there's any pro out there knowing how to like probably tie a bow, then let me know. I feel like this jumper is a bit controversial. I get a lot of people saying that it looks like a microphone attached to the jumper. I mean, I can see what they mean, but I know it's supposed to be a bow, so I don't see that. Now, one of my like biggest purchases I think I ever made on a secondhand vintage market is my beloved Burberry skirt. And let me tell you, hunting this down definitely wasn't easy. So as you can see, it's like a little pleated skirt, and it actually is kind of a wrap style. It's kind of like those Scottish, like, how do you call kilts? Burberry is one of those brands that gets a lot of fakes and a lot of copies, so you really have to make sure that it's authentic. And again, what you can do is ask for extra pictures and ask for receipts before you do anything else. Now what you have to watch out for is that with those Burberry skirts, a lot of people tend to get the kids sizes because they are so much more inexpensive than the real ones, but they are super short and they are less in quality. And this one is actually like 100% wool skirt, so this is so super warm. This one actually is one of like from the women's section, and it is 100% wool, so again this was more expensive, and for me it's definitely worth getting this from like a more trusted retailer, because there's so many fakes of Burberry out there and so many that just sell their kid skirts that are just way too short and look outrageous. But this one's a really good quality. Now with this I had quite the journey, because the first time I tried to buy one of these skirts, the person I sent the money to, she texted me the next day and was like, I lost it in the train. And she was kind enough, she sent me all the money back and everything, but I'm so sad for her to have lost a Burberry skirt on the train, so whoever still finds that is going to be very lucky. But yeah, I did pay a lot of this because I wanted it to be a retailer coming from Germany, so that would be like easy to ship. It wouldn't, you know, have to get cleared of any customs and all of that. So yeah, that was important for me, and I did pay a lot for this one. I'm not gonna lie, I think I paid around... Ooh. Do I want to share that? Let's just say I paid more than the other pieces for it. Not as much as a handbag, but definitely I paid a bit more for it. And what I have to say about this one is, first of all, I knew it wouldn't fit me perfectly. I knew it would be a bit too wide when I got it, so I had to put in an extra stitching so that it fits me, but I actually don't mind that. It was super easy to do, and since it's a wrap style, you can't even see the stitch that I did, so that's not to worry about. And then the next thing that it is, obviously I asked her for the length and everything before that, so I could measure it up. And then there's like one tiny hole on this skirt. Yeah, it's here. I don't know if you can tell, but it's definitely there. It doesn't bother me too much because it kind of gets lost in like all of the pattern going on, so no one ever could tell that it has like this little hole, but it was there, which is why I could get it a bit cheaper than what she originally wanted. So yeah, I would always just try to chat with the people as much as you can, and just be friendly with them. Don't be rude, don't ask for ridiculous price drops if you really want a piece. But yeah, I'm really happy with this one, and yeah, Burberry skirts is just like another level of vintage shopping. Getting back to some easier topics, another thing I bought vintage, again on Vinted, I think I'm going to say that about almost everything, is this nude little belt, and this one's actually Ted Baker, so I'm not really sure this counts as designer. It's more like a premium high street, so obviously I didn't do any authenticity checks on this because you can't really, but yeah, it's just a very classic like nude little belt. Again, it's something that I know I will love and love for so many years to come, and if it's Ted Baker, it's just something that feels a bit more premium, luxurious. I know their quality, I love their quality, and I know it's going to last me so long. So again, what I did is I would ask for her measurements, ask her the width of like the widest and the shortest like hole, so I could measure how it would fit on me, because I didn't want to poke another hole into it. But I paid, I think, 20 bucks for this, and that's just as much as I would pay in H&M, for example, for a belt. However, this time I just got a real leather one in a quality that I know I love, in a design that I love, and just something that's going to last me a bit longer, and something that just looks more timeless and classic. So you compare to what you would spend if you were to buy a cheap one on the high stream and then having to replace that, you're definitely saving money, it's more sustainable, and you even get a nicer quality. My Prada boots were definitely my biggest bargain I've ever made in a designer boutique. I actually got this in a charity shop and they sold for 40 euros and they retail for over 800. So that was quite a lucky find, and I can't believe these. Now these are probably from the 70s or 90s, and getting these was kind of like an impulse purchase, but again, for the price that I paid for it, I definitely can't lie that it's been one of my best decisions. They had watermarks and stains around the canvas, which by the way you can get rid of by just using like some anti-stain product and then going over it with Destilled water. That is a trick, because Destilled water is not going to leave watermarks. Don't ask me why, it's a trick that a sales assistant in Longchamp told me, and if you have any Longchamp bags then use that tip. It's going to change wonders for you. But yeah, these shoes I definitely have been well loved, and there are a few things that have been done about them. So first of all, the leather was very like run down, so I had to nourish that again, and then I also had to like steam this like little thing around here, and I think I could do it again, but that's something that I do, like I steam up the thing so that it actually look nicer. One thing about Prada that you'll have to know is, like, from the old Prada boots, having this like leather ribbon at the back is one of the authenticity signs, specifically for the older boots. Now nowadays I think there are more brands who do these, and also like cheaper brands, but back in the days that used to be a very good like telltale sign whether the quality of the shoe was like that extra bit, like that extra bit literally, or not. So that's a very good sign. And then also these have been resold, so they don't actually have the original sole anymore, but they have like kind of a rubbery material that was plugged underneath them, but you can definitely see that underneath that there was the original Prada sole. So they have been very well loved, and the person who took care of them actually didn't do such a bad job. You got the original zip where it also says Prada, so that's another sign. And then obviously on the inside I have this like leopard print. I hope that you can see that, but it has this like leopard print on the inside, which again is one of the original designs and styles that you could get from Prada. So again, this is one of the telltale signs. Now, of course, I bought them in a charity shop, so I didn't get any authenticity or warranty card or anything. But again, it's been just such a lovely purchase, and I just love them so much. I think they're such a wardrobe staple, and again, it is such a piece that it's just so unique. Like, you don't really see a lot of people with them, and even like the new Prada boots, they have a different vibe and feel to it. I wouldn't really get any of these, but the vintage ones I really like, and I'm really glad I could score that purchase. So pretty much the same day that I got the Prada boots, I also managed to get my hands on one of these Ralph Lauren jumpers. Now this one I got from Vinted again, and I have to say with these you really have to watch out, because a lot of these will come from an outlet factory, because that's just where most people buy them, and if you want to get like the nicer fit and the nicer quality of them, it's not gonna be like one that you would get from the outlet. So one of the signs that you can tell is if it's just a regular fit, because Ralph Lauren does like a slim fit, a regular fit, and just like loads of different things, and also loads of different materials. So you can get like a basic cotton one, you can get a wool blend, you can get cashmere blends. So depending on the quality of the jumper and the material, that is something I would ask for. If they can send you like the little card where it says what material it's made out of, and then check if it's like a regular fit or a slim fit, because if it's a regular fit and it's the cheaper material, that's definitely going to be one from the outlet factory. I feel like there are like certain like things in the ID numbers you can check as well, whether it's from an outlet factory or not. I haven't done that, I've just gotten this one, but yeah. Again, this is something that you have to kind of watch out with, and again with this, especially coming from these jumpers, I can tell you if you get like a crisp white thing. It's definitely easier than doing something cream like this, because chances are cream can turn out yellow or it can look dated, whereas white, like a crisp white, should be fine. And again, especially with lighter color clothing, ask for any discolorings, ask for any spots or blemishes, not blemishes, but any spots that it might have, any marks or holes. This one was in a fine condition. It didn't really have anything on it. She sent me the receipt. She wore it once, so that's totally fine. And yeah, just something to watch out when you buy these. And then one of the last things that I scraped from my wardrobe that I want to show you today is this pair of shorts. Now, this is my most worn pair of shorts ever since I got it, and it's a pair of self-portrait shorts. Now these have these absolutely stunning embroidery, and they just came to me. They popped on my Depop, I think, and these shorts have been on my wish list, but they're over like £260, I think, and now they're even sold out everywhere. Now I got these for $50, which is a lot for a pair of shorts, I'm not gonna lie. But if I look at Zara and they have increased their like denim shorts for $39.99, then I'd be hella dumb not to buy the shorts that I love, that I've always wanted, for a bit more than that have such a nice fit, a much nicer quality. I can wash them, they have the perfect shape, they have the perfect fit. So with this, I would ask the person to send me, first of all, the length of like the waistband, and then also the length or the width of the hemline, and also the length of the short itself, so that I could measure if it would fit me or not. I would say they're probably my most worn shorts ever, so price per wear on them is definitely down. And they're definitely a much nicer quality than any of like the replacement shorts that I could have gotten. So yeah, I'm actually feeling very happy and content with my purchases so far. So guys, these conclude my vintage designer purchases. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please let me know your thoughts on vintage and pre-loved shopping, especially in the designer market. Is there anything you would ever buy vintage and something that you never would buy vintage? And then I'll say thank you so much for watching. Please, if you have any experience of shopping pre-loved designer items, then definitely share them down below. And then I'll say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!